Okay, so day 2 in Yellowstone. We're getting a little bit of a later start than we anticipated. It's about 7:15 and we are at the Fairy Falls trailhead, getting ready to hike out to see the falls, which also has the overlook for the Grand Prismatic on the trail. So we attempted to see the Grand Prismatic yesterday and there was no parking and I was tired and I wasn't going to park an overflow and walk. So I figured the overlook has a better view anyways than the boardwalk, so we're going to do that and see how that goes. It is morning, so there is quite a bit of mist coming up off of all of the springs, so I don't know how well our view will be, but we'll see when we get there. So the Fairy Falls Trail starts out, I don't know if it's like this the whole way, but it does start out on this relatively wide pathway. We are coming up, there's a little hill like right there. I believe that might be where the Grand Prismatic overlook is. I just see a little spur trail, so it might be, it might not be, but we have all of these views to look at on your way. Oh, rock. On your way there, and then the Grand Prismatic is actually, I think it's right here between these trees. I could see the boardwalk from the Fairy Falls parking lot. So I think it is right here on the other side of these trees. Right there, I think that might be it. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Either that or it's up there where all that steam is at, up ahead. Okay, I was wrong. That's what was beyond the trees. There's lots of pretty wildflowers on the trail right now. Some on that side. I think that is the Grand Prismatic, and unfortunately, because it's like 50 degrees out, it's covered in steam, so not sure how much of it we'll get to see. I don't know if the camera is picking this up, but there are some really cool colors coming off of the steam at the very bottom, which is really, really cool. Yeah, it's like a rainbow. So we're coming to a junction. Full, great signage. So you'll turn left at the junction to go up the trail. That trail down there, the wider trail, our bikes are allowed on it. The bikes are not allowed up here on the Fairy Falls Trail. Alright, so there's the trail. It keeps going that way, or you can switch back here to come up to the Grand Prismatic overlook. Now, there's not going to be much to see, again, because it's the morning. And it's pretty much covered in mist. But this is a better view than you'll get at the boardwalk. So if you're here during the day, you can't find parking at Grand Prismatic, definitely recommend making the trek up here. Okay, we came back down the other side of the overlook and we are back on the Fairy Falls Trail, which is back on the bike path. There's the mist from the Grand Prismatic.
Mosquito bug.
Oh yeah, lots of mosquitoes on this trail. They're not too bad if you can keep moving. As soon as you stop, man, they are on you. All right, next trail junction. Fairy Falls is 1.6 miles that way. You can continue that way on the bike path. There are no bikes or pets allowed on the Fairy Falls trail. There are no pets allowed on the bike path. Fun little footbridge. Oh, somebody lost a pacifier. Fairy Falls. Right, so we're down at Fairy Falls and we are going to start heading back to the trailhead. Before you leave, make sure you check out the creek flowing from the falls. It's really pretty. And be aware of poison oak. There seems to be a lot of it over here. You can also continue, you see there's a trail right over here. And that'll take you to, there's a geyser, like right there. So it'll take you out to that geyser and it makes a full loop. We're not doing that today, but you can do that from this trail. So this is a very popular trail. If you're going to do it, I recommend trying to do it as early as possible. We've been passing crowd after crowd after crowd after group after group. So there's a lot of people out and it's about 9:30. So definitely recommend coming early. So the Grand Prismatic is still pretty steamy, as you can see. So I think we are going to bypass the overlook and just stick to the bike trail. And then try our luck maybe this afternoon with the parking lot, see if we can get a little luckier today than we were yesterday at the actual Grand Prismatic parking lot. Lucky us, we were able to snag a spot right in the front at Grand Prismatic, right in the front of the parking lot, use the bathroom, and now we're heading towards the boardwalk. See what we can see. So like many of the other front country trails. The Grand Prismatic is also ADA accessible. There's a one-way pathway up there that goes around over to the Grand Prismatic overlook. The first thing you come to is the Excelsior Geyser Crater, which is still steaming pretty good. So I would say that there's not a ton of people here compared to what we saw yesterday afternoon, and there's still like a huge traffic jam of everybody wanting to get pictures right at the edge here. As you continue your walk around, you come to this little mini version of the Grand Prismatic. With the Firehole River in the background. There is no placard with a name for this one, so I'm not sure what it's called. This is the last stop on the Grand Prismatic Loop, which is the turquoise pool. Alright, so we are done with the Grand Prismatic Loop, and I'm going to be honest, I was not super excited about St. Grand Prismatic. I kind of thought it was like a, you know, high volume touristy place where people just want to go get a cool picture, but like there wasn't much to it. Go see Grand Prismatic. It was one of the coolest things that we have seen, and I'll be honest, like it kind of blew my mind in a good way. And I could see even with a bunch of people here, it would still be worth it. We got pretty lucky in that the crowds were pretty light. I think that some tour buses just let off because I'm seeing huge groups of people arriving now. So I think probably the sweet spot, if you're coming in July, is, you know, midweek. Today is a Tuesday, so I would say midweek, between the 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. hours. After that, you're gonna have a lot of crowds, but it is gorgeous. And when you're done, after you cross the bridge, make sure you take the little footpath just a little ways down the Firehole River and get a picture of this cascade. I mean, there's that one too, but this one, especially if Excelsior is still steaming, makes for one just awesome picture. Lunchtime again, and we're eating backpacking food again. I am having the garlic parmesan ramen noodles. It's a backpacker's, it's a backcountry foodie recipe. So I made it at home and prepared it here. And Rusty's having Backpacker's Pantry, the mushroom stroganoff today. Very excited to eat because I'm actually pretty hungry. So we are here at Biscuit Basin. It is ADA accessible. So there is an option to do an extended hike to Mystic Falls. You can see here, it's like 3.5 miles round trip. But we today are just going to be doing the Basin. This is fire hole here. They don't recommend swimming in it because it has that toxic algae in it. So don't take your pets and kids into the water. So almost immediately upon crossing the bridge, you'll come to Black Opal Spring, which is there. And this, I am waiting for the plaque. Alright, so this bigger pool is called Wall Pool. And it has a lot of the same features as Grand Prismatic, just on a much smaller scale. Right next to Wall is Black Diamond Pool, and it's kind of cesspool-y. It's not as pretty as looking over here. This is Sapphire Pool for obvious reasons. We're coming to the circle portion of Biscuit Basin. We're going to go straight. So this is Shell Spring. It looks like it has dried up, maybe. But we were told that Jewel geyser, which just erupted, only erupts every 5 to 6 hours, give or take a few hours. So we got really lucky that we happened to see it erupting. It's not a big one, obviously. The eruption was quite small, but we got to see it, so that was cool. So this is Avoca Spring. It just sort of does this the whole time. It's got this nice blue pool next to it. And it smells quite strong. So from the spring, you would continue straight to go around the basin, or left to go to Mystic Falls. There's also one little pool to look out down here. It doesn't look like it has a name, but it is very pretty, and so I definitely recommend coming and taking a look. Continuing along the Biscuit Basin loop. There's some vents in the ground as you come to these two pools. And the last thing on the loop is the Black Pearl Geyser. You can hear it gurgling. From there, you just make your way back to the parking lot.